So today we are going to deal with our module 5, the part 1, that is compaction. Basically today we will be dealing with the shallow compaction. Okay. So basically this module 5 has the following portions, that is compaction, moisture density relationship, shallow surface compaction, rollers, operational aspects, deep compaction, by explosion, heavy tamping, vibro compaction and vibro replacement, and the properties of the compacted soil and compaction control test. So what is this compaction? We have studied about this in the geotechnical engineering. So it's a simple ground improvement technique where the soil is densified through external compactive effort. So when the soil is given an external compactive effort and if moisture is present in the soil, then compaction will happen. Then compaction is the process where the soil particles are artificially rearranged and packed together into a closer state of contact by mechanical means in order to decrease the porosity of soil and increase its dry density. Then see, there are three figures which is shown. In the first figure, let's see. The first one is a poor compacted one. Okay, the second one is a good compaction one. When good compaction occurs, the bearing capacity of the soil will get increased and it will also increase its durability. So by compacting, the bearing capacity of the soil will increase and that will result in greater durability. And in the second figure, let's see, here also the first one is poorly compacted and the second one is well compacted. This well compacted soil, there will be higher resistance to deformation and higher resistance to frost damage. Let's see the third one. The first one is poorly compacted and the second one is well compacted. That is, it will increase the stability and it will decrease the permeability. This is the compaction effect. This is a loose soil and this one is the compacted soil. You can see that the air voids has been reduced in this, isn't it? Then what are the aims of compacting a soil? It will increase the shear strength of the soil. It will reduce the compressibility. It will reduce the permeability. It will reduce the liquefaction potential and control the swelling and shrinkage of the soil, and it will impart prolonged durability. What are the factors affecting the compaction? The first one is the water content, the compacting effort, the type of the soil, and the method of compaction which we are adopting. Now let's move on to the moisture density relationship. As we all know, compaction is measured quantitatively in terms of dry density. The increase in dry density of soil brought by the process of compaction will depend upon the moisture content of the soil and the energy input by the process of compaction. And the maximum dry density is achieved at optimum moisture content. At low moisture content, the soil is stiff and it will be difficult to compress and the result in low dry density with high air content. An increase in moisture content makes the soil more workable. So let's see what is a shallow surface compaction. The compaction by surface equipment is achieved by static pressure or dynamic pressure caused by the impact or vibration. The soil compaction is achieved by tamping, kneading, vibrating or by means of impact. Appropriate type of equipment should be used for the type of soil in the field condition. Let's see the type of equipments which are used. The first one is the smooth wheel roller. It is of three types. One is the conventional one. The second one is a tandem roller weighing from 10 to 140 kilonewton, and the three axle tandem rollers which weighs from 120 to 180 kilonewton. The smooth wheel rollers are useful in compacting thin cohesionless soil. Can be also used for compacting clean granular soil, and the maximum compactive effort in soil is achieved at a frequency between 25 to 50 Hz, and the normal roller speed ranges between 3 to 6 km per hour. In thick layers of soil, a speed of 3 to 4 km hours are usually recommended. Next is pneumatic tired roller. It is also a common form of pneumatic roller which consists of a box platform mounted between two axles. You can see that in this picture. The tire pressure in the small rollers are of the order of 250 kN per meter square, And in the heavier rollers, the pressure ranges from 400 to 1050 kilonewton per meter square. Pneumatic tire rollers are good for general compaction. It is effective for cohesive soil and cohesionless soil, then sands, clay sands, silty sands and sandy clays. The roller speed is usually 6 to 12 km per hour. The light rollers are capable of compacting layers on the order of 15 cm thickness with few passes. The roller of high capacity can compact layers of 30 cm thickness with 3 to 5 passes. So this pneumatic rollers is generally used for general compaction. Then sheep foot rollers. They are drums with large number of projection. The area of each projection may range from 25 to 85 centimeters. These rollers are most effective in compacting clay soils. The contact pressure under the projections can range from 1400 to 7000 kilonewton per meter square. See, these are sheep foot rollers. You can see this. During compaction in the field, the initial passes compact the lower portion of a lift. Compaction at the top and middle of a lift is done at later stages. Grid rollers. It is intermediate between smooth wheel and sheep foot rollers that provide less kneading action but high contact pressure, and it is suitable for coarse grained soil. Vibratory rollers. These are extremely efficient in compacting granular soils. They can be attached to smooth wheel pneumatic rubber tired or sheep foot rollers to provide vibratory effect to the soil. The vibration is produced by rotating of center weight. Other surface compaction devices include heavy rubber tire trucks and scrapers, crawler type tractors, air tams, gasoline driven tams, small vibrating plate devices, etc. The operational aspect of shallow compaction is its operational frequency, number of passes, depth of the layer, compaction at frequency like freezing temperature, special consideration for specific materials, etc. So these are the one which we have to mainly consider in the case of this shallow compaction. And I have already sent you some of the video links. So when you go through those links, you will be able to understand how this compaction process is taking place, and also the notes is already given to you. So please go through the notes also, which will help you to study this part. So tomorrow we will be dealing with the second portion, that is a deep compaction. Okay, thank you so much.